this morning's verse is going to be Exodus 34, verse 29. Now, what this is talking about, it's talking about when Moses had journeyed to Mount Sinai. He stayed for 40 days and 40 nights, wrote the 10 commandments of the Lord. And when he came down, this verse is talking about how he was radiant, how he was glowing with God's light. So Exodus 34, 29, and then I included verse 32 as well, just to kind of wrap it up for you. So it says, when Moses came down Mount Sinai carrying the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, he wasn't aware that his face had become radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. Fast forward, verse 32, it says, then all the people of Israel approached him, and Moses gave them all the instructions the Lord had given him. So he's sharing the 10 commandments. So it says here, when Moses came down the mountain, as he completed that piece of his journey, he had this glow from the glory of God. He had this glow from the interaction. He had, and obviously it took some time, right? It says here, he wasn't aware that his face had become radiant. But on his journey down the mountain, he had been called by God to share this message. He had been called by God to lead. He was anointed, and he glowed with God's radiance. We all have this radiance at time. We all have this shine. You've heard people say you've got this light in you. You have this glow about you, and you look great. And sometimes we can't explain specifically why. We all have God shine through us, and we can see it in others. We see other people that just shine for some reason. They carry that message. But one thing that is definitely required from any of us, one thing that is required from everyone to be able to allow that light to shine is patience. Because a lot of times God will test us. He'll put these things in front of us. He'll say, here's your 40 days. Here's your 40 nights. This test is coming. This time is coming. And it requires us to be patient and calm and listen to the Lord. You know, we don't always allow ourselves the grace to have the patience for God's timeline. We want things right now. We want to travel to the mountain. We want to go up the mountain, right, so to speak, and say, God, I'm speaking to you. I need you to hear me now. I want you to provide this thing, that time that passes in between where God is channeling that light to you and then through you. You know, when we allow God to work through us, when we allow that true joy of what God brings to us, allows his radiance to shine through us. And I took some notes. There's 4 on this channel. I'm a big fan of John Maxwell. This piece from the Maxwell Leadership Bible. And he shares these 4 traits, and I thought it tied in perfectly because it's talking about God's radiance here in Exodus 34:29. If you're just now joining us, I'll mention this again. Exodus 34:29 says, when Moses came down Mount Sinai carrying the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, he wasn't aware that his face had become radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. So literally that interaction with God was allowing him to shine. And these 4 traits all shine through us when we slow down and we have patience and we have calm and we take time to commune with the Lord, with our God. So the first one here is charisma, right? It's actually 4 C's: charisma, character, competence, and conviction. Charisma, he turns us into a people magnet, right? He allows people to be attracted to us. Character is that he allows us to stay straight and true, and in turn that allows the people that have been attracted to us to stay with us for parts of our journey. Competence. The Lord gives us knowledge and the wherewithal to produce results first for ourselves and then allows us to work through others. And then lastly, conviction. Conviction lets us have backbone. It allows us the fortitude to stand for what is right, and it allows us to continue on and to follow through. So today I encourage you, take those 4 things with you, right? And think about, well, where has the the Lord granted me these things? Where has he granted me that charisma to attract people to me, and the character to stay on that path, the competence to be able to share that confidently, right? The competence to have confidence, and then the conviction to stay on that line. Where has he granted me these things, like he may have to so many in the Bible? And as the story of Moses is shared with us, and if you don't know the story of Moses, it's awesome. I would encourage you, go back and read through Exodus, because there is so much that happens in that book. It's really phenomenal. So today I encourage you, allow your light to shine bright. Take those 4 traits with you. Share the things that God has given you, and let others see God through you today. So I thank you so much for joining me this morning. I do this every Monday morning, 7 a.m. I encourage you, please jump in and join me. It'd be great to connect. Do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/faithandfire. If you have a friend or anybody that you feel could use this message or a message just like this, I would encourage you to share it with them. So thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and join me today. God bless you, and have a great day. Have a great week. We'll talk soon, everybody.